All right, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm John Schrettengass, principal here at Canal High School, and I welcome you to the morning that we call our favorite morning of the month. It's our Student of the Month ceremony. So here's the way that it works. Each month, we ask each of our 9 departments to conduct a very difficult task. They are to select one student, one of the many that they encounter each semester that truly rises among or above the best or the rest according to really their everyday behavior, what they do and what they do for others. We get together this morning to hear those stories. Let's go to our English department with Ms. Brinster.
Hi, I'm Ms. Brinster, and I am also equally as excited to present Caitlin Coffey as the English Student of the Month this month. Caitlin last semester in a very small class, and just like you'll hear about everybody else, other students of the month, she's very hardworking, generous to everyone. She's willing to work with students who don't easily get a partner in class, and she does an awesome job of helping to elevate them, to really work with them one-on-one, and that shows me that she also understands the content really well, which was, so impressive throughout the semester. One story that I wanted to share was that we spent probably 2.5 weeks working on this essay, and we had an outline every day and all of this kind of stuff, and I took a look at Caitlin's essay and I was like, oh yeah, this is Caitlin's work, this looks great. I know she's in good shape from her draft and totally ready. Everybody peer edits, and when you get peer editing, a lot of times people just write, oh yeah, this is good. They hand it back to the person who was writing, and the person who was writing doesn't change anything in the long run. And Caitlin kind of looked at everybody's essay. She gave them really good feedback, which was awesome. But then the next morning, she turned her essay in, and I was scrolling through it real quick, and I was like, Caitlin, did you rewrite your entire essay last night? And she had a perfectly fine essay to start off with, and she's like, yeah, it wasn't good enough, so I fixed the entire thing. And it's fabulous, something that no one ever does, and really just proved what a great student she is and how much she just wants to do well for the sake of improving her own knowledge and learning, which is something that Ms. Margetto and I very much appreciated. So thank you so much, and congratulations.
Next, we'll go to our Career and Technology Education Department with Ms. Sutherland.
So my student of the month is Patty Reyes Osorio, and I picked Patty. You'll hear these terms like Ms. Brinster said, dedicated, hardworking, perseverance. These are words that describe a lot of our students on this campus, and I think about what Mr. Schrettengass said yesterday. You never get a second chance to make that first impression. Well, day one, she made that first impression, and I just have to say, wow. Wow was the thing I thought when I first saw Patty, and wow right till the end. Every time I looked at every one of her assignments, I had an expectation of the assignment being an A here. Hers was here. The neatness, the detail, the research was phenomenal, and it paid off for Patty. And Patty's an English language learner, so she's also in a class where her teacher talks really fast and uses a lot of big words, and she's like, oh, what are you saying? And she'd ask me questions, but she'd get through it. And at the end of the year in my class, the kids take a national exam, and Patty ranked out in the top category of distinguished. And it says, distinguished students consistently use creative, critical, logical reasoning and synthesize their understanding in complex real-world scenarios. And I have to say, in the subcategories, Patty scored where some of my third class kids score. So, wow is a word I would use that would really describe Patty. I'm so excited for her for earning this level, and I'm so excited to be able to teach her again this semester and see her throughout the pathway, because I think we're going to see some great things come from Patty over the next couple of years. Congratulations.
Great job. Next, we'll go to our math department with Ms. Lawrence.
Good morning, my name is Ms. Lawrence, and for my student of the month, I picked Justine Hooper. I had Justine in my Algebra 1 class, and I picked her for a couple reasons. First, Justine works very hard. From the moment the first bell rings to the moment the last bell rings, Justine is working. She has her work on her desk, she has all her materials out, she works ahead, she does problems that aren't even assigned, she works really, really hard. Secondly, she is the student that I can depend on to answer any question. You know when you ask the question and it's crickets in the room, you wait, and then I look at Justine, and she'll say, she'll answer the question every time. And the primary reason I chose Justine is her kindness towards others. So in my classroom, I have my desks clustered in groups of 3, and it did not matter who was at her desk grouping, Justine was helping. I had some students that struggled a lot. I had some students that, fought me a little bit. But if they were having trouble and I looked over and Justine was in their grouping, she was so patiently and so kindly working with them, explaining it to them, helping them, finding their errors. It was very, very neat to watch, and I was very thankful to have her in my classroom. So, congratulations.
Next, we'll go to our world language department with Ms. Nicholson.
So this is Savannah, and I chose Savannah for the Spanish world languages, specifically Spanish Student of the Month, because when she walks in the door, you know that she's bringing everything she has. She takes a seat in the front row. She fought every time I did a seat change to keep her front row seat. And I knew she started off in September feeling so overwhelmed, like I am never going to survive this class, but she persevered. She definitely persevered. I pushed her, I forced her to think late in the day, late in the week. I could see her frustration, but she worked through it every time. She never gave up. When she was struggling and didn't understand, she'd ask for help either from me or others in the class. And when she did understand, she would give help to others. So for me, that's the picture of a great student, that it doesn't come easy, but they get through it. They do all they can to be successful, and that's what Savannah did.
And most of the students in here know how I feel about sitting in the front. It's very important. Let's stay with our world language department and recognize a student of the month that we weren't able to recognize last month. So we'll go to Ms. Huffman, and again, our world language department.
Hi, so on behalf of the World Language Department, I'm recognizing Alyssa Winkard as Student of the Month. Because of the flu last month, I couldn't do it. But anyways, I'm incredibly proud to present that to you this month. And for all the work that you put into Spanish 1. You're extremely dedicated, you gave your best effort each and every day. What I most appreciated was how much of a leader you were. Your classmates knew that they could trust you, whether it be for group projects, to lead, or to hold on to their papers, because they were really unorganized. They trusted that you'd come to school and you would have their notes or study guide for the next day. So I really appreciated that. I hope that you continue to take Spanish courses and be a leader. You also were able to balance being a student athlete with fall sports and winter sports, and be able to complete all your work with no missing assignments. Pretty much every assignment you got an A on because you just went above and beyond my expectations. So it was really my pleasure to be your teacher for Spanish 1.
Next, we'll go to our social studies department with Mr. Farrell.
All right. Good morning, everyone. It is my pleasure to present Catherine Alvarenga as our Student of the Month for Social Studies in January. Every morning I see Catherine at the annex before she's even in my class, and she is always bright and smiling and energetic, saying hello to the people in the hallway. I actually only see Catherine for 40 minutes a day, every day for this year. But in those 40 minutes, she really stands out above the rest of her class. She's always bright and smiling and energized and ready to work. I truly have known Catherine for 5 months now, and I don't know that she has bad days, just based on her energy and positivity in the classroom. She's always ready to work. She's always ready to do any assignments. You kind of get those comments from students of, oh, what are we going to do today? Can we do something fun? Catherine's asking in a more positive way about what can we do today? What else could we do today? And the last thing I want to say is every day for the first 2 or 3 months of the year, I would post a history fact of the day up in the corner of the board. Never had anybody say a single thing about it. One, just kind of it was blown by. But about 3 months into the year, Catherine actually mentioned it at the end of the class. She said, Mr. Farrell, I don't know this fact of the day. Can you explain this one a little bit more? And it just really hit me that she was actually reading the facts every day. She was actually caring about the history that she was learning. And it's really my pleasure to present Catherine Alvarenga as the Student of the Month for January.
Great work. Let's go to our Health and Physical Education Department with Ms. Schenker.
Good morning, I'm Mrs. Schenker. I teach PE and health and team sports here, and my student of the month is Blake. I had him for team sports last semester. I also had him for first period. A lot of times it's really difficult at 8 a.m. to have everybody come in, ready to change and ready to move around and start exercising a bunch. I never had any problems with Blake. He was always so reliable. I could always depend on him to do whatever we were going to do for the day, which is really helpful. I think you were only absent maybe once or twice, but it was always noticeable because it was like, oh, where's Blake? I know he's going to do whatever we need to do for the day. He was kind of one of those silent leaders, so if he just started doing stuff, it seemed like everybody followed him without him telling everybody to follow him. He was generally good at every sport, which also was really helpful in team sports class. But he was always ready to work with whoever was on his team, so just really helpful to have students like that in class. So I just want to make sure he's recognized. So congratulations.
Let's go to our Visual Arts Department and Ms. Schulte.
I'm Andrea Schulte, and it's my pleasure to honor Aaliyah Williams as the Visual Arts Student of the Month. Aaliyah is now in her third course with me, which is impressive in itself that she's going to put up with me for a third round, so I get to start my morning all year long with Aaliyah. Again, we keep hearing about that quiet leader thing. It's hard to be a loud leader in high school as a teenager, but she does an excellent job of being a quiet leader. She comes in early almost every day. She's the first one to get to work. She sustains her work through the whole thing. And she has a lot of friends in that class, which can be a distraction, especially in a studio environment. And she doesn't allow it to be a distraction. She continues to work, and therefore the people around her work as well. It was really interesting because the first semester I had her, she did well, but nothing exceptional, just she did well. She was good. And then she signed up again. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. And I started to really push her, and man, did she rise to the occasion. She really started to find her artistic voice this past semester when she started breaking the rules, and that's when I really get excited. She was definitely working out of her comfort zone. She went to Ace Hardware because she wanted to work on wood panels instead of what I had. She stained the wood, had it cut into the pieces, and worked on this really amazing multimedia trio project that the whole time she had planned for her mom. So she was really driven with what she wanted to say with her project, aligned with the criteria that I was requesting from her. So that was really exciting. She has this way, it's pretty fun. She has this way of really understanding synthesis, which is a big word in studio art. So we're trying to get them to understand what they want to say, align it with the right media, align it with the right subject matter, and make it all just cohesive. And she is really mastering that. So I'm excited for this semester to see what you do next. Taking risks is what it's all about. Learning the rules well enough that you know how to break them. And I'm really proud of you for starting to break all the rules. Congratulations.
And next, we'll go to our Performing Arts Department with Ms. Wright.
baby is cracking me up. It's so funny. All right, I'll try to compete, but I don't know. All right, so good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Amber Wright, and I'm so glad that I have this opportunity to award Ashanti the Student of the Month Award. This morning she says, I'm really surprised that you selected me. And I thought, why is she surprised? I mean, you do so much in the classroom, I'm not really sure why you're surprised. So let me tell you why I selected her. Let me tell you too. All right, so Ashanti means a member of a people. And that is exactly what Ashanti is. Ashanti is a person who can relate to all kinds of different students in the classroom. I look to Ashanti to help me sometimes with those difficult students. You know, the students that don't quite fall in line with my routine, who can't seem to quite fall, can't seem to quite fall in line with our studio practices. Ashanti can say things to students that I normally would never say, but Ashanti can get them right where they need to be, and I still have a job. See, that works just fine. Good job. So when Ashanti speaks to her peers, she speaks to them, though, with compassion and with kindness. And when Ashanti and I are speaking, it seems as though I'm talking to an old friend. And an old friend in the sense of just an old spirit. It's like talking to my auntie or my grandma. She's just got that old spirit about her. And I love it because it's different than anyone else's. Ashanti's plans for the next year include going to the military. So please rest assured that the country will be in good hands because Ashanti will be there in that military sharing her light, her wisdom, and her love of people, all kinds of people. Ashanti, I want to thank you for a job well done, and I can't wait to see how you set the world on fire with just your compassion, your love, and your understanding of all people. Ashanti means a member of a people. Ashanti, a member of a people, and a champion for life and love of all human beings. I love
So that concludes our ceremony, and I think just it highlights why we consider this our favorite morning of the month. Those are just amazing stories. They're told by outstanding educators about great students, but it goes much deeper than that, as you heard in every story. They're stories about great people, and that's what it's really all about. So to the students, I say this: congratulations. Another example of hard work paying off. It's working. What you are doing every day is working for you, so keep it up. Second, I say this. I say thank you. Thank you, because another common theme that you heard is the impact that you're having on your classmates, on the people around you. It's a very positive influence. So for that, thank you. To the parents, I say congratulations, job well done, and thank you very much for joining us. Have a great day.